Buckle up, time travelers, because we seem to be headed... Wait a minute, where are we? Ah, the joys of a malfunctioning time machine. One moment you're cruising through the 90s, the next, you're dodging a charging mammoth in the Stone Age. But every cloud has a silver lining, or in our case, a golden era. Welcome to the world of ancient civilizations, a place brimming with intriguing tales and bizarre tidbits. From the Mayans and their cacao bean currency to the Sumerians raising a frothy mug of beer, we're about to embark on an exciting journey through time. We'll delve into the architectural wonders of the Indus Valley, explore Cleopatra's beauty regimen, and uncover the mysteries of the Easter Island statues. So strap in, hold on to your time travel bone, and get ready for a whirlwind tour of the past. So here we are, lost in time. Let's see where this adventure takes us. Our first stop seems to be a bustling market in ancient Mayan civilization. Here, something quite peculiar is happening. Instead of coins or paper notes, people are passing around cacao beans, yes, the same ones that give us delightful chocolate. You see, in the Mayan society, these beans weren't just for making drinks or sweets, they were a form of currency. A chicken might cost you 100 beans, a tomato just one. Imagine buying your groceries with chocolate. Quite a tasty thought, isn't it? Now let's take a sip from the cup of history and jump to ancient Sumer. Here, we find one of the oldest known beer recipes, inscribed on a nearly 4,000-year-old clay tablet. Sumerians didn't just enjoy a good brew, they considered it a divine gift. Their beer was a thick, porridge-like concoction, often sipped through a straw. From chocolate money to ancient brews, history never ceases to amaze. Moving on, we land in the middle of some architectural wonders. Now, let's take a trip to the Indus Valley civilization, a cradle of urban planning where city layouts were as meticulously planned as a chessboard. Streets were laid out in a grid pattern, intersecting at right angles. Houses were built with baked bricks, boasting inner courtyards and a complex sewage system. All this at a time when most of the world was just discovering the wheel. Talk about being ahead of the curve. But it's not just what's above ground that amazes us. Enter the underground cities of Derinkuyu and Petra. Imagine the hustle and bustle of a city, the clanging of the blacksmith's hammer, the chatter of the marketplace, but all happening under the ground. Derinkuyu in Turkey was a subterranean wonder, with up to 18 levels deep, and could house approximately 20,000 people. It was equipped with wine cellars, stables, and even chapels. Petra, on the other hand, is not just an underground city, but a city carved into the side of a mountain in Jordan. Known as the Rose City for its pink-hued rock face, it's a marvel of engineering and artistry. The most famous structure, the Treasury, is a monumental facade carved out of a single block of sandstone. And believe it or not, these architectural wonders were built more than 2,000 years ago. And here we were thinking that skyscrapers were the pinnacle of human achievement. Our ancestors seem to have a knack for flipping the script and making us rethink our definitions of progress and innovation. They understood that it wasn't always about reaching for the stars, but sometimes about delving into the heart of the earth. So the next time your internet connection drops, or your GPS leads you astray, remember the people of the Indus Valley, of Derinkuyu, and of Petra, who constructed cities, systems, and sanctuaries without the aid of modern technology. Incredible, isn't it? And to think we complain about our Wi-Fi signals. Scene script. Next, we find ourselves in the midst of a royal grooming session. Welcome to ancient Egypt, where donkey milk and beards are the height of fashion. It's not your typical day at the spa, but these beauty practices were all the rage among the pharaohs and queens of the Nile. Let's start with the legendary Cleopatra, the queen of beauty herself. She was known for her radiant skin, and her secret? Donkey milk. Yes, you heard it right. Cleopatra regularly bathed in donkey milk to maintain her youthful allure. It was believed to have anti-aging properties and was a natural exfoliant. Talk about a royal skincare regimen. But beauty wasn't just for the ladies. Hatshepsut, one of the few female pharaohs, had a unique approach to fitting in with her male counterparts. She wore a false beard, a symbol of Pharaoh's authority and divinity. It wasn't about fooling anyone, everyone knew it was a strap-on, but it was a fashion statement, a mark of her power and status. Ancient Egyptians also had a thing for eye makeup. Both men and women wore it, not just for aesthetic appeal, but for health reasons as well. They believed that the eye makeup, made from crushed minerals, could ward off evil spirits and eye diseases. And let's not forget about their love for jewelry. gold, precious gems, and colored glass were crafted into intricate designs. These weren't just accessories, they were symbols of wealth, protection, and even served religious purposes. Finally, the ancient Egyptians were all about hairstyles. They often shaved their heads to maintain cleanliness, but wore wigs for fashion. These wigs were made from human hair, sheep's wool, or vegetable fibers, and were styled in a variety of ways, from short and curly to long and sleek. So, while our beauty routines today might include a quick swipe of mascara or a trip to the barber, the ancient Egyptians went all out with their beauty and fashion practices. From bathing in donkey milk to strapping on a beard, they certainly knew how to make a statement. Who knew ancient beauty was so unique? It seems like we've stumbled upon some of history's greatest mysteries. First up, we have Mohenjo-Daro, a place that could give Sherlock Holmes a run for his money. Situated in what's now Pakistan, this ancient city was home to one of the earliest urban civilizations, the Indus Valley. But what's truly fascinating is how abruptly it was abandoned. No wars, no famine, no natural disasters. The city's inhabitants just vanished. Was it aliens? A real estate dispute? We may never know. Next, we swing over to the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But here's the catch. We're not even sure they existed. Historians have been scratching their heads over this one for centuries. Were they real, or just a figment of some poet's imagination? If they were real, where were they located? And how on earth did they irrigate all those plants? It's a botanical puzzle that's yet to be solved. Finally, we hop over to Easter Island. You've probably seen the giant stone heads known as moai that dot the landscape. But did you know that these heads actually have bodies? That's right. Most of the moai are buried up to their necks, hiding their torsos underground. But why were they made? And how were they transported? These hefty figures weigh in at an average of 14 tons each, so moving them was no small feat. As we delve into the past, we're reminded that history isn't just a series of dates and dead people. It's a collection of stories, some solved, some still shrouded in mystery. It's a testament to human creativity, resilience, and our insatiable desire to leave a mark for future generations. So whether it's an abandoned city, a possibly imaginary garden, or giant stone figures, the ancient world holds a treasure trove of mysteries, just waiting to be explored. And who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be the one to crack the code. The past is full of surprises, and we've only just scratched the surface. Hang on tight, we're diving into the thrilling world of ancient sports and warfare. Imagine you're a Carthaginian general named Hannibal. You're planning to surprise Rome, your sworn enemy, by marching from Spain, across France, and into Italy. There's just one tiny problem: the towering, icy Alps. But worry not, because you've got a secret weapon, elephants. Yes, you heard right, pachyderms in the Pyrenees. Hannibal, in a feat of military genius, managed to march an army of 40,000 men and 37 war elephants across the Alps to attack Rome. Talk about making an entrance. Now, let's travel across the Atlantic to the heart of Mesoamerica, where the Mayans and the Aztecs were playing a game that was a cross between basketball and soccer, called Pocatoc. But this was no ordinary game. The rubber ball used was so heavy it could injure or even kill a player. The stakes were high, as losing a match could sometimes result in human sacrifice. The game was also a religious ritual, symbolizing the struggle of the gods in the Mayan creation myth. It was a sport of life and death, literally. From strategic warfare to deadly ball games, our ancestors certainly knew how to keep things interesting. Whether they were marching elephants over mountains or playing ball games with the highest stakes imaginable, they turned the ordinary into the extraordinary. And in doing so, they left us with stories and histories that continue to captivate us to this day. So next time you're watching a football match or playing a game of chess, remember, the spirit of competition, strategy, and dare I say, a dash of madness, has been part of human culture for thousands of years. Our ancestors might not have had video games or sports channels, but they sure knew how to keep things exciting. Talk about high stakes. If you're a fan of exotic locations, you're in for a treat. Picture this: the Sahara, a place we associate with endless sand dunes and scorching sun. But thousands of years ago, it was a lush, green paradise teeming with life. Yes, you heard it right. This might be hard to imagine, but around 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was a wet and wild wonderland, complete with vast lakes and extensive river systems. It was home to a diverse range of flora and fauna, from hippos to crocodiles, making it a veritable Garden of Eden. This wet era, known as the African humid period, was brought on by a shift in Earth's axis, causing monsoon rains to drench what is now the world's largest hot desert. Now let's move halfway around the globe to the Valley of Mexico, where the Aztecs engineered a fascinating solution to farming on a lake. They created chinampas, or floating gardens. These were small, rectangular areas of fertile arable land, constructed within the shallow lake system. The Aztecs would drive stakes into the lake bed and then pile up layers of vegetation, dirt, and mud to create these plots. They were interlaced with narrow canals, providing a network of navigable channels through the marshy landscape. These chinampas were incredibly productive, yielding several crops a year and supporting a thriving population. In these ancient times, humans were not just surviving. They were innovating, manipulating their environments in ways that we can only marvel at today. They turned challenges into opportunities, and their ingenuity continues to inspire us. So, the next time you're dreaming of your ideal vacation spot, why not let your imagination wander back in time? From lush deserts to floating farms, the past sure had some prime real estate. Ever wondered what the ancients used for tech? Let's start with the Incas, masters of the Andean civilization. When we think of smartphones, we think of glass, metal, and silicon. But the Incas, they had the quipu. Now, this wasn't your typical smartphone. No touch screens, no apps, no selfie cameras. The quipu was a system of knotted cords, and it was their way of recording information. Intricate knots and varying cord lengths represented different data, like a three-dimensional spreadsheet. From recording census data to storing their history, the quipu was the Incan equivalent of a database. Talk about being ahead of their time. Now, let's sail across the Mediterranean to ancient Greece. Here, we find one of the most baffling pieces of ancient tech, the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera, this complex gear system is often dubbed as the world's first analog computer. And it wasn't used for scrolling through ancient social media, oh no. This device was used to track celestial bodies, predict eclipses, and even keep track of the 4-year cycle of athletic games which we now know as the Olympics. Imagine over 2,000 years ago, without any electricity or modern tools, these ancient civilizations were creating complex devices for recording data and tracking celestial events. It's breathtaking to think about the level of knowledge and skill they possessed. So, next time you're frustrated with your smartphone, remember the quipu and the Antikythera mechanism. They might not have had the flashy screens or the mind-boggling processing power we're used to today, but they were remarkable pieces of technology in their own right. They stand as testaments to the ingenuity of our ancestors and remind us that human innovation is as old as civilization itself. Who needs the latest iPhone when you have an Antikythera mechanism? Now let's dive into the fascinating cultures of the past. First stop on our time travel itinerary, the Olmec civilization, one of the earliest in Mesoamerica. Now we know the Olmecs for their colossal stone heads, but did you know they had a rather bouncy tradition? Indeed, they were the first civilization to discover and use rubber. They harvested it from the Castilla elastica tree, and it wasn't just for fun or for making early forms of chewing gum. No, they used it for religious rituals and for making balls for their sport, a precursor to modern football. So next time you're dribbling a basketball or kicking a soccer ball, give a nod to the Olmecs. Now, let's hop over to the small Mediterranean island of Malta. Here, beneath the surface of the earth, the ancient Maltese carved out intricate subterranean complexes known as the Hypogeum. These underground halls, used for burials and possibly religious rituals, are a testament to the Malteses' dedication and skill. Imagine the effort it took to carve these chambers out of solid rock with nothing but primitive tools, and they even included some nifty acoustic features too. Last, but certainly not least, we head over to ancient Greece, where the world's first analog computer was conceived. This device, known as the Antikythera mechanism, could predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Remember, this was over 2,000 years ago. Long before the advent of digital technology and space exploration, the ancient Greeks were already mapping the stars with remarkable accuracy. It's a clear testament to the ingenuity of ancient peoples, despite the technological limitations of their era. So whether it was bouncing rubber balls in Mesoamerica, carving out vast underground halls in Malta, or constructing intricate astronomical devices in Greece, our ancestors were full of surprises. Their cultures, while different from ours, were equally complex and fascinating. And that's a wrap on the weird and wonderful cultures of the past. For our final stop, we're going on a whirlwind tour of rapid-fire mysteries. Hold on to your time machine seats as we zoom into the desert landscapes of Jordan. Here, the ancient Nabateans carved an entire city, Petra, into the rose-colored cliffs. Next, we're diving deep beneath modern-day Turkey, into the labyrinthine tunnels of Derinkuyu, an underground Anatolian city. Imagine an entire metropolis beneath your feet, with layers of homes, stables, churches, even wineries. Astonishing, isn't it? Now let's soar over the Sahara, once a verdant paradise teeming with life. Picture this: lush vegetation, a network of lakes, and a vast array of wildlife. Quite a contrast to the barren desert we know today, right? So, from cliffside cities to subterranean metropolises, and from lush landscapes to desert dunes, our journey through history has shown us that the past is not merely a dusty collection of dates and events. It's a vibrant tapestry of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. So many mysteries, so little time. Well, time travelers, it seems like our journey through time is coming to an end. We've hopped from era to era, uncovering the quirkiest, most fascinating facts about our ancestors. From Mayans using cacao beans as currency to Sumerians clinking their beer mugs in cheers. We've marveled at the architectural wonders of Indus Valley and the underground magic of Derinkuyu and Petra. We've chuckled at Cleopatra's donkey milk baths and Hatshepsut's beard salon visits. We've delved into the mysteries of Mohenjo-Daro, the Hanging Gardens, and the full-bodied Easter Island statues. We've even braved Hannibal's elephant army and the deadly Pocketok matches. And let's not forget the wet Sahara and the floating Aztec farms, the Incan smartphones, and the first ever Greek computer. All these bizarre tales from history encapsulating the human spirit of innovation, survival, and sheer whimsy. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more time-traveling antics. Until next time, keep exploring, and remember, history isn't just old, it's gold.